Have you ever heard of a city built high on a mountain, almost 660 feet above the forest, where kings once ruled from a fortress in the sky? Or a mysterious ancient place carved directly into the cliffs, where entire villages were hidden away in the rock? What about a city that was suddenly buried, with its people frozen in time, capturing a snapshot of life in ancient time? Welcome back to another amazing episode of SNotReal. Today, we're going to explore these forgotten wonders, each with its own tale of glory and tragedy. And the best part? We will show you a city that was lost under the sea and then miraculously found after centuries. So get ready, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive in. 10. Atlantis. Atlantis is the most mysterious of all lost cities. According to ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis was an advanced civilization that suddenly disappeared into the ocean. According to Plato, Atlantis was an island beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar. It was a land of immense wealth and beauty, gifted with vast resources, advanced technology, and a society that cherished wisdom and culture. The city was designed with circular rings of land and water, interconnected by grand canals, bridges, and paths. The heart of Atlantis was a grand temple dedicated to Poseidon, the sea god, richly adorned with precious metals and encircled by green gardens. This temple served as the cultural and spiritual center where Atlanteans worshipped and celebrated their prosperity. However, over time, they became corrupt, driven by greed and a thirst for power, straying from their virtuous origins. Angered by their hubris, the gods sent disastrous earthquakes and floods, submerging Atlantis into the ocean in a single day and night. This once paradisiacal city was lost to the depths. But did Atlantis ever really exist? Or is it just a myth? The truth remains indefinable, hidden mystery. 9. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. Imagine a place so ancient that it rewrites the story of human civilization, a site where people gathered long before the invention of writing, farming, or even the wheel. This is Göbekli Tepe, located in the southeastern region of modern-day Turkey. Dating back to around 9600 BC, Göbekli Tepe is considered the world's oldest known temple complex, a place of worship built by a people whose name we do not know, who lived over 11,000 years ago. Göbekli Tepe city consists of massive stone pillars, arranged in circular formations, with each pillar carved with intricate images of animals, lions, snakes, vultures, and other creatures. These carvings, both mysterious and detailed, suggest that the people of Göbekli Tepe had a rich spiritual life and a deep connection to the natural world. The site was first discovered in the 1960s, but it wasn't until the 1990s that archaeologist Klaus Schmidt began to uncover its true significance. 8. Greco Jordan. Imagine walking through a city where every step you take brings you closer to the magnificence of ancient Rome. This is Gerashe, located in modern-day Jordan, a city that was once known as Gerasa. Founded around 331 BC, possibly by Alexander the Great or his successors. Gerashe was a Roman architectural masterpiece, adorned with grand temples, majestic theaters, public baths, and a long colonnaded street. The city flourished during Emperor Hadrian's reign, peaking around AD 129 to 130, when Hadrian's Arch was erected at its entrance to honor his visit. Gerashe was a vibrant hub of life, not just structures of marble and stone. It thrived with art, culture, and commerce, hosting bustling markets where merchants from across the Roman Empire assembled to trade a variety of goods, from spices to silks, demonstrating its economic vitality and cultural richness. Gerashe's glory diminished after devastating earthquakes in the 4th and 7th centuries AD, leading to its decline. 7. Great Zimbabwe. Settled among southern Africa's rolling hills and vast plains, the enigmatic ruins of Great Zimbabwe serve as a testament to African imagination and culture. Founded in the 11th century, this city was the thriving capital of the Kingdom of Zimbabwe until the 15th century. Great Zimbabwe was home to over 18,000 people, making it one of the most populous and influential cities in early Africa. The city is famed for its monumental stone constructions, notably the Great Enclosure, which boasts a massive stone wall over 800 feet in circumference and 36 feet high, assembled precisely without the use of cement. This architectural feat demonstrated the advanced skills of its builders. Great Zimbabwe flourished as a dynamic trade hub, accumulating wealth through the trade of gold, bone, and other valuable commodities. It attracted merchants from distant regions, including China, Persia, and India, highlighting its global significance. The city's glory was so renowned that its name, Zimbabwe, meaning houses of stone, became synonymous with majesty and power. By the 15th century, however, Great Zimbabwe began to decline. Historians believe overpopulation, environmental degradation, and the depletion of critical resources like gold contributed to its downfall. 6. Lepus Magna. Lepus Magna, a vibrant Roman city on Libya's coast, thrived as a hub of culture and commerce. Its golden age began in AD 193 when Emperor Septimius Severus, determined to elevate his hometown, initiated an ambitious building program. This included grand temples, basilicas, and one of the empire's largest forums. The city's architecture, featuring imported marble and limestone, showcased Roman engineering at its finest, with intricate carvings and mosaics. The massive amphitheater, built in AD 56, seated over 16,000 spectators and overlooked the Mediterranean, providing a dramatic setting for public spectacles. The Severan Basilica, completed in AD 216, was one of the largest of its kind, symbolizing Lepus Magna's importance within the empire. The bustling forum was a center of commerce, trading goods like olive oil, wine, and spices. However, the city's decline began in the 3rd century, leading to its abandonment by the 7th century. Buried by Sahara sands, Lepus Magna's ruins were so well preserved that 20th century archaeologists found entire buildings almost intact. 5. Babylon. Babylon, a jewel of Mesopotamia and now modern-day Iraq, was more than a city. It was the epicenter of an empire where history unfolded. Famed for its hanging gardens, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, these gardens were believed to be a lush retreat with walkways overflowing with plants, falling like waterfalls. Built by King Nebuchadnezzar II for his homesick queen, the gardens symbolized Babylon's splendor. The city was protected by massive walls, wide enough for 2 chariots to race side by side, securing its status as a formidable stronghold. Inside, Babylon was alive with grand temples and palaces, its streets buzzing with a blend of luxury and intellect, creating an ideal environment for its inhabitants. However, Babylon's grandeur was not everlasting. Over the centuries, it faced invasions and decline, leading to its eventual abandonment. The once mighty walls and luxurious temples fell into ruin, and the existence of the hanging gardens has faded into tale. 4. Heracleon, Alexandria. Heracleon, an ancient Egyptian city, once thrived on the Mediterranean coast, repeatedly visited by the gods, including the Greek hero Heracles, after whom it was named in the 8th century BC. The city was renowned for its grand statues and monumental structures that welcomed sailors. Notably, the Temple of Amun stood as a majestic place of worship, attracting visitors from afar. In the 2nd century AD, the city began to sink, possibly due to a combination of rising sea levels, earthquakes, and soil liquefaction. Among the finds in Heracleon was a 5-meter-tall statue of Hapi, god of the Nile's bounty, in the Grand Temple of Amun-Gareb, where rituals ensured Egypt's prosperity. Discovered treasures included gold coins, jewelry, and over 60 shipwrecks, highlighting its past as a wealthy spiritual hub. For centuries, Heracleon was considered a myth until 2000, when underwater archaeologists led by Frank Gaudio discovered its submerged ruins off Alexandria. Found under sand and silt, the once mythical city was confirmed real and remarkably preserved. 3. Pompei, Campania. Imagine a city so vibrant, so full of life, that even after nearly 2,000 years, its story still captures the world's imagination. This was Pompei, a bustling Roman city nestled near the Bay of Naples. Founded around the 7th or 6th century BC, Pompei was a city of luxury, with wealthy residents living in villas decorated with walls and mosaics. It featured shops, bakeries, public baths, theaters, temples, and an amphitheater for gladiator fights, epitomizing a culture of wealth and indulgence. On August 24, AD 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted catastrophically, blanketing Pompeii in ash, pumice, and gases. Within hours, the city was buried under meters of debris, its residents frozen in time, capturing their final moments. When the city was rediscovered in 1748, archaeologists found buildings, artifacts, and even the remains of the people almost exactly as they had been on that fateful day. It was as if time had stood still, capturing a snapshot of life in ancient Rome. During excavations, plaster was poured into cavities left by decomposed bodies, creating casts that show the exact positions of Pompeii's victims, offering a haunting view of the tragedy. 2. Mesa Verde, Colorado. Imagine a time over 700 years ago when the ancestral Puebloans, a remarkable group of people, lived high above the valleys of Colorado. This was Mesa Verde, a place that wasn't just a city but a wonder carved directly into the cliffs. Picture homes, rooms, and even entire villages built right into the rocky face of the mountains. These cliff dwellings, some of which date back to the late 1190s, were their homes, offering both protection and a view that stretched for miles. Mesa Verde was a blossoming community. At its peak, around 1250 AD, it was home to more than 5,000 people living in nearly 600 cliff dwellings. These weren't just small caves. Some, like the famous Cliff Palace, had over 150 rooms and 23 kivas, circular underground rooms used for religious rituals. It was like a city in the sky, where families lived, children played, and traditions were passed down through generations. By the late 1270s, Mesa Verde's inhabitants began departing, completely abandoning the city within decades. Theories suggest drought, resource depletion, and social unrest as reasons, leaving behind a ghostly reminder of their once thriving civilization. Ceria, the eighth wonder of the world. Imagine a fort balanced high on a massive rock, rising nearly 660 feet above the surrounding jungle, with panoramic views that stretch for miles. This is Ceria, often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world, a majestic ancient city located in the heart of Sri Lanka. Ceria was built in the 5th century AD by King Kasyapa, a ruler with a dramatic story. King Kasyapa, ruling from 477 to 495 AD, seized the throne by overthrowing and murdering his father. Kasyapa chose to build his capital atop the towering Ceria rock, a natural fortress that would be nearly impossible to attack. Ceria was surrounded by gardens, pools, and functioning fountains, showcasing advanced hydraulic engineering. The climb to the top passes the mirror wall, once polished to reflect the king's image, now adorned with ancient drawings from visitors centuries ago. The entrance to the palace was guarded by a massive lion statue, of which only the paws remain today. This lion-shaped gateway gave Ceria its name, which means Lion's Rock in Sinhala. However, Kasyapa's reign ended in 495 AD when his half-brother returned with an army, leading to Kasyapa's defeat and eventual suicide. Ceria was later abandoned and became a Buddhist monastery.